We're here in Belle Fourche visiting with Fred Wilson. Hey, Fred, great to visit with you. You're involved with the Cowboy Church coming up with the Black Hills Roundup.
Yes, sir, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're going to talk about the Cowboy Church and what all is going to go on there. But first, let's talk about Fred Wilson, your family, and ranching, and some high school sports. Since it's your first time here on Black Hills TV, it's really great to have you. You grew up on a ranch in Hardin County?
Yes, sir. We grew up on a ranch about 10 miles west of Buffalo, and I went to elementary school on through high school there.
Mm-hmm. And then your main profession throughout your life was teaching.
Yes. Yeah, I went into teaching at Newell, South Dakota in 1970, and I retired from teaching there in 2003.
Mm-hmm. You did a lot of coaching there, too, with high school sports?
Yeah, I did a lot of coaching there. I coached football and some freshman basketball. I started the wrestling program there, mm-hmm. and coached track too. So there were mm-hmm. some seasons I was a head football, track, and wrestling coach, and some seasons I was an assistant in one of those sports or something. But yeah, I put in a lot of time coaching kids there.
Did you grow up playing sports in Hardin County?
I did. Yeah, we started playing basketball and football in middle school, and then through high school, and ran track and rodeoed in high school and in college also.
Rough stock?
Yeah, that and bulldogging. I couldn't hardly catch cold with a rope, so I chose other things.
Yeah. Was your high school football team pretty good back in those days?
Well, we ended up not being too bad.
Mm-hmm.
The last sophomore, junior, and senior year. Freshman year, we only had 4 games. We lost all of those, and it was mostly freshmen and sophomores and a few juniors and a few seniors. So.
That's not what they're used to at Hardin County.
No, but since we left there in '65, it's been pretty much uphill, or not uphill, on top of the ground for them. They've had a very, very successful program for the last, 55 years now. So
yeah. With the Cowboy Church and teaching and coaching all those years, you must have a heart for people.
You start teaching, you're young and foolish and, don't know what you care about most. But people grow on you. And my wife and I have both worked in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes
mm-hmm.
since starting in about the early 80s maybe. Mm-hmm. And we're still doing that here at the high school in Belle Fourche. And, we just love kids and really enjoy working with them and just people in general.
The Cowboy Church at the Black Hills Roundup is sponsored by the Fellowship of Christian Athletes?
No. We started a chapter of the Cowboys for Christ last year.
Okay.
Other years we kind of did it under our own auspices, and I thought last year it's better to have something official. So we applied and started a chapter of the Cowboys for Christ, and that's kind of the umbrella that we're going under now.
The Cowboy Church at the Black Hills Roundup is going to be on what day and what time?
June 28th, that's Sunday,
mm-hmm.
at 3:30, and it's on that date because we do it the Sunday before the rodeo begins. Mm-hmm. So we don't conflict with anything with the rodeo, and we do it in the afternoon so we don't conflict with the area churches. We just mm-hmm. we don't want to be in anybody's way, and we just want to do something that blesses the community and at a time when anybody that wants to come can get there.
Sure, and that'll be at the community hall across from the police station?
Yes, the community hall. We had it originally set up for the community center in the theater there, mm-hmm. but with the COVID-19 things, the theater won't be open yet, so we moved it down to the community hall, which we had it there 2 years ago, mm-hmm. so that worked out fine. We're
at the Tri-State Museum here in Belle Fourche, and behind us is a saddle, quite a story behind this saddle.
Well, in 1904, Seth Bullock organized a bunch of area cowboys to go out and ride in Theodore Roosevelt's inauguration. He and Theodore Roosevelt were good friends, longtime friends. So that was an idea he had, and there was quite a crew, about 60-some, I believe it was, that went out. And they loaded their horses on a train here and took them to Washington, D.C., and then most of them sold their horses out there and brought their saddles back. But yeah, my grandfather and his brother, Fred and Charlie Wilson, were involved in that group. So, and Charlie happened to be the owner of Tipperary, which was a centerpiece of the Black Hills Roundup from its inception for several years. So we have a real family connection to this rodeo.
Tipperary has quite a reputation around here.
He did. It was amazing to read some of the accounts of rodeos that they went to. I think I saw one time that they were at Timber Lake and thousands of people showed up. And that wasn't uncommon. And the thing is, today they haul their horses wherever they go. Well, then they had to trail them. They didn't have trucks to haul them around a century ago. So, but yeah, Tipperary was quite an attraction. When you go to Buffalo, and I believe there was 3,000-4,000 showed up at Buffalo. Century ago. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep. Well, you retired from teaching, and of course now you're doing real estate.
Yeah, I did. I retired from teaching in 2003, and we moved over to Belle Fourche, and I got my real estate license in 2006, and been involved in that ever since.
So obviously, if you're looking to buying or selling real estate here anywhere in this area, get a hold of Fred.
That works. That works for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Fred, hey, we appreciate you putting on being involved with the Cowboy Church at the Black Hills Roundup.
Yes, that's kind of a desire of our heart to do something to bless the community, and we've tried to get some good people in. We've been able to the last few years to have the reigning Miss Rodeo South Dakota make an appearance there, and Martina Loobey from Sturgis will be there this year. And we've tried to get some notable people to speak. Last year we had Scott Mendez, who's a world champion bull rider, and this year we have Robin Tierney, who was in 1985. She was Miss Rodeo South Dakota, and then she was also second runner-up to Miss Rodeo America. And her husband, Paul, who had 10 appearances in the National Finals Rodeo, and 9 of those were in calf roping, and then he also qualified 5 times in the steer wrestling. And he was a world champion in tie-down roping in 79, and the all-around world champion in 1980.
Oh, wow.
So, and of the 10 years that he was at the NFR, 7 of those years he was in the top 10 of the all-around category. So he had a pretty spectacular career. Had a back injury that ended his career, but he had a pretty spectacular career. So we're tickled to have them here, and they happen to be the parents of the reigning Miss Rodeo America. So
wow,
that kind of ties all of that together.
So what you're saying is don't miss the Cowboy Church.
Don't miss the Cowboy Church. It should be a good one. Yeah. And we added something else in this year, too.
What's that?
Well, on Friday and Saturday, now preceding the Cowboy Church, we're going to have what's called the Center of the Nation Freedom Outreach. And we've got Pastor Tim Stewin from Rapid City is going to come up and preach at that. And that's just an outreach ministry to the community. So I'm excited about that, too.
Nice, yeah. All right. The Cowboy Church at the Black Hills Roundup.
Correct, yeah. And the Freedom Outreach.
Yeah.
They don't want to miss that one either.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.